welcome to Everyone is the Asshole, where America is still burning.
Yeah, apparently America is the asshole.
Yes, America is being such a bad girl. And of course, it would be a woman.
Oh no, I'm not taking credit for that. America is a man. Okay, have you seen Florida? It is his penis.
Yes.
No, America is a cis white man.
There's no doubt.
A woman would never. Only those who have internalized the patriarchy and self-loathing. And we all have to some degree, but
Yes.
those are the only and they're white.
And
I
they're
mean,
benefiting somehow, too.
they're benefiting from these systems of white supremacy, and that's like basically anyway, what a fucking shit show. I can't even like it just keeps getting more, it just keeps piling on. I feel like I'm only
Yes.
laughing because I feel like the
That's the
absurdity,
only. That's the only
like the
way.
no wars people, where are they? Even though Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson are still on the no wars train, you know.
And they're not the only ones. It
No.
is popping up everywhere. I find it's all over my algorithm.
Mm,
I'm a character that I'm agreeing with go to their page and they're like, deport them all. And
that's
I'm like, so
right.
again, it's the age of like not agreeing with everything, but it's so bad that we must make some alliances, right?
For sure. I will absolutely I will absolutely ride with the no wars people for the no wars part. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
we'll figure it out later
yeah,
on the
yeah,
back end.
yeah. I'll tell them, I'll call them, we'll have differences about their immigration policy, I'm sure. But if when it comes to like, do we need to have class war? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll fight
Yeah.
next to them in the class war,
Hell
and then
yeah. If they finally would get on board at some point or
right.
another, to that, which they really slowly but surely are. But what I am afraid of is we keep bolstering these characters up, which I do believe in, but Tucker Carlson is going to run for president.
Yeah, do you think so?
So, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but he does sort of give me like, he wants to be able to say whatever he wants and kind of
Just
like
asking questions.
stay on the out. Yeah, he is so, his face, dude. Okay, I will say this. I think he's a racist. I think he's a
Yes.
misogynist. I think he's a horrible person in most ways. I think he's funny, but
Damn, I
obviously
wasn't.
not when he's saying horrible stuff.
Well,
I think
sure, sure.
I think he's funny when he's fucking trolling these.
Taking down Ted Cruz.
Yes, dude. That was one of my favorite interviews I've ever seen in my life.
Yes. When he does it to a common enemy.
I know, man. Well, because he's like so petty and such like smarmy. He'll be like, I don't know. He's just like
Well,
the
I
way he
mean,
does
and he
it is
presses them, yeah, and he's able to like
funny.
keep pressing them by that dumbass like, oh, I'm just asking
Yeah,
questions. Like, well,
God, that's the
well,
face. His face. It's like,
he's attractive though, in a
did you say
very
he was attractive?
yes, or in a very stereotypical white man. Like
Add
he's
him to
got
the
good
list.
gold. Yes. Okay, you're gonna kill me too, because another one,
Ew.
Joe Kent.
Dude, okay, low key, I understand that one.
All
I
right,
mean, I understand that one. He's a disgusting person, but
sure.
just the face card
Just the
and the
face.
hair.
And the courage behind it, a little bit. I mean, that is just like slightly, but just
I
the
say fuck that asshole, but I do think that objectively he is an attractive man.
then what is the difference? He's the same exact category as Tucker to me.
No,
They're
fuck Tucker. Fuck Tucker Carlson. I think he's a piece of shit, but I think he's funny.
all right, all right, all right.
I think he's a piece of
That
shit, but I think he's funny.
I guess I feel that about Nancy Mace too, which is also I have such a bad list.
Your
Um,
list is crazy. Even though Nancy Mace is she's a pretty person, a pretty woman. I mean, a horrible soul and a terrible transphobe, but
uh-huh.
objectively her face is pretty. And not in like the weird Mar-a-Lago face that a lot of them have
Not
gotten.
yet.
Not yet.
Actually, she's held the line with the Epstein stuff because I mean,
Yeah,
how could she not with
right,
being literally on the floor
right.
calling out her ex-husband, like taking that opportunity as a as a member of Congress to talk about her ex-husband and show pictures of him. Like, okay,
Damn.
that sounds about right. But
He is like Looney Tunes, dude.
Thing we
Verbatim.
notice the DC code struggles to define is the term woman. So Mayor Bowser, what is a woman?
I'm a woman. Are you a woman?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
I'm a woman. You're looking at one.
what is woman?
Like, oh my God, what a ridiculous, what a ridiculous person.
What are
And
we
it's
doing?
obviously like not funny for trans people, and I'm not trying to like diminish
No.
that she like does very serious harm. And at the same time, like, what an unserious, fucking insane person. Like, remember there was somebody that she like went crazy in the Capitol building because she thought a trans woman was like in the bathroom, and
Yes.
it was, and not that it like it it was a cis woman, and they like humiliated her and made her like prove that she was. How is that making any women safer, you dumb bitch?
It
Anyway.
is so backwards, and they're just gonna be able to use excuses like, well, I was just checking it out. I was just needed to make her prove
like
it.
that is crazy and does not make women safer. I
But
feel much safer with a trans woman in the bathroom than I do with Nancy Mace in the bathroom.
she's off my list.
Well, okay, no, your list. Okay, let's tell people what we're talking about. The whole point with the list is it's kind of like gross, like people that are kind of like shameful.
You're ashamed.
You're ashamed that you would want to, yeah. It's
And
from,
top of my list for 10 years and counting.
well, hold on a second. Wait, before you start revealing the just utter insanity of your list, it's for people who are familiar with Broad City. This is the way one of the Broad City episodes ends, is that they're leaving the hospital because Alana has had a horrible allergic reaction to shellfish. And they're having these conversations as their credit rolls. And Alana tells Abby about this game that they play in their family, like who is like your guilty pleasure fuck, essentially. And Abby says, OJ Simpson.
Oh my God. Do you know who's at the top of my mom's gross sex list? Howie Mandel.
Wait, your mom has a gross sex list?
Oh yeah, my whole family does. We play this game. It is hysterical. Who is the grossest person you still kind of want to have sex with?
Oh, okay. Well, mine would obviously
It's just
be...
it can't be a cartoon.
Okay, well. Okay. OJ. Yeah, yeah. Definitely.
Oh my God.
Dude, in his day, he was a solid man. Like, he was a 10.
Oh, he was gorgeous.
He was a 10.
No,
Like,
no,
people...
no.
He was on cover magazines and stuff.
I'm just like floored by what a good answer that is, and you've never
Thank
played
you.
this before.
Which is just
It's a
the perfect
incredible,
answer.
incredible pick. Okay, so Adrian, who is on,
I thought equally incredible pick was Miss Nancy Pelosi. The fucking power just like flows out of her.
oh my God. Nancy, if you're listening, you've got a fan.
You've got a fan. And I guess I could have said like her daughter, which is, I mean, I'm pretty sure she's still
Do you know what
real.
she looks like?
Yes, of
Okay,
course.
of course.
But that was my guilty pleasure. But I did have like such a moment of that John Early sketch in I Wish You Would Leave. Wait, what is his? Anyways, he's playing the credit card roulette and it
Oh,
lands on him. And he defiantly is like, no, I'm not paying. And then he realizes, a minute later, like, fuck, should have just lied. I should have just lied and said Nancy Mays. Such a more, like, respectable,
Even though
shameful,
it's
guilty
funny
pleasure.
because it's like the opposite, right? Like Nancy, no disrespect. Well, I don't respect Nancy Pelosi, so I guess I don't need to say
No,
no disrespect.
no respect.
But like in terms of, I don't, typically don't want to talk shit about the way a woman looks. But she's like 85 years old.
And that was the hilarity of going around the table on our trip as everyone tried to not be so,
Adrian
offensive,
literally Googled Nancy Pelosi hot.
which doesn't provide as many great results as you would hope to defend yourself. But
Surprisingly enough. About though, what's his name? What's the handsome dickhead's name that just resigned? We were just talking about.
Joe Kent,
Okay, I think Joe Kent is like a handsomer, more handsome version of like Pete Hegseth, who is like a. That's what Pete
this
Hegseth
is a great
wishes to
point.
look like.
Can my personal self get over a person's atrocities and just
Right,
dysfunction
right.
purely on looks? And I thought my answer was obviously yes. What are all my choices? But Hegseth, gotta stop it
Ugh.
there. Same with Pam Bondi. Same with
See,
Caroline Levitt.
I think Pam Bondi might. No, Carolyn Levitt is nowhere near any list that I would have.
Yeah,
Other
she's not.
than
She actually wouldn't even be on my list anyways if she
she's
was.
the
Let's be
list.
clear. I
Well,
don't
same
find
here,
her
same here,
attractive, for
same
the
here, same
record.
here, same here.
Good.
But the only list I have Caroline Levitt on is for the Hague, baby.
I'm glad that started to trend. I love when I see like my internal thoughts that are like slightly dark or like whatever, but they are just hot trending
Yeah,
topics. And I'm
right,
like,
right. Yeah,
you
we live
know,
in a crazy world.
we do, but social media sometimes has its bright spots. Have you seen the latest update of the Iran sent out, the Lego update?
The what update?
Their Lego update of what's happening.
Lego?
Yeah, okay.
What?
I gotta give you a quick war update of what's going on in the actual, this is from the government.
No, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, this morning, I believe. This is how they're releasing, they're calling it propaganda, but is it?
Oh my god!
Really capture the essence of them.
Oh my god, dude! The fact that he has a little girl with him is crazy diabolical
Yes.
work by the Iranians.
Love the music too.
Okay, this kind of goes hard.
They were really underestimated. It came out just a couple days this was produced. Who's Nina?
And it's like flathead.
She's in England too.
That's
Fat,
how
fat.
fat the American is. Oh my god!
Not so radical.
Hey,
That's a set.
dude,
You
do not
know, some
that.
American's gonna sell that shit. Like, make
Don't
it.
Google that. Do me a favor and do not search on that on Google. They will be at your house, dude. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. That went hard as fuck.
I mean, a lot harder than
Anything that
Mr. Trump's all caps ultimatums.
really bad AI of him like on the US men's hockey team, you know what I mean? Like fucking scoring goals. Like I don't even know what to say. This is the timeline.
This is our timeline. Like, that is what we are saying. I think what I am saying right now is the more logical side. Is a Lego movie update of
My fucking
what's
God.
happened, what they plan to have happen,
My God, dude, what the fuck, man?
you know. And then we've got the all caps ultimatums that are rescinded. Boom, boom. The next day, postponement. And they say we're having private special talks. And Iran is like,
No, we aren't.
what talks?
Iran's like, you thought we were just gonna let you fucking roll in here? Like, you guys are fucking morons. What the fuck are we? It's so stupid. And
See our Lego update.
they're like, look at this actual footage.
This will be you crying in your bed.
You
With your
said,
little
I
dog.
want to get that Lego set. It does look pretty dope. I love how fat the Americans are. I love how fucking Donald Trump has a little baby doll.
Yes. But it is quite literally like they just dehumanize all of
yeah.
these people and they don't think of
course.
them as real human beings. And then when they fight back, I mean, this probably makes sense to them that they're Legos, but like they're like, shit, these are some smart Legos.
Oh,
Like,
damn.
they,
Well, I mean, like, yeah.
and 3,200 lives have been lost.
No, it's horrible.
American lives have been lost,
Yep.
soldiers,
For no
and will
fucking
continue. I don't even want to quote the number because I don't know if it's true or updated.
Yeah, right.
And like, for what? For us. But I don't think he can keep his mind on this for long enough. So me, it's entertaining as hell right now.
Yeah.
In the
I
most terrible way.
No, like you said, I mean, it's obviously like horrific. The United States is like a terroristic nation, like, kidnapping the leader of a sovereign nation in Maduro, however you feel about him, like literally just, doing that. Fucking Iran and then taking out their leader and then like insisting that he should somehow have some say in who's gonna lead this sovereign nation. Like, what the fuck? United States is a terrorist fucking state, but like, there was something funny about the Legos that I was gonna bring back up. I mean, but now I've forgotten it. I mean, because it's not funny, but it's just so. I think like the United States, they're all so dumb. We're being led right now by people who are so fucking stupid. And like,
Everything
what did
is
they
so
think was gonna
unserious.
happen? That's right. Everything is
Yeah.
so fucking unserious while being incredibly
Dangerous as fuck.
and serious. Like,
At the same time. So
Right.
it's
makes your brain break.
we're living through it though. Which brings me to a question. If you had the choice, would you live in this timeline as your current age, or would you rather be, older or younger?
In a different timeline? Or in this
No,
timeline?
like right now, I'm going through this. Are you?
I see. Would I rather be older than I am right now or younger than I am right now?
Yeah.
I'd rather be the age that I am right now.
Me too. If not older,
Yeah.
definitely not young. Which
Definitely
is-
not younger.
Isn't
Definitely
that
not.
wild? Is that
Yeah.
is that a sign of pure depression? First time two women are like, I do not want to be younger at all. Absolutely not. Either same age or older.
First of all, that's fucking hilarious. But I truly believe, though, Adrian, like, there are plenty of people in the United States who are not paying that close of attention and are just like selling their wares and, like, and not to say people have to survive, I'm not talking about those people who are like trying to, because not to mention, like, everything's getting more expensive, life's getting more difficult for, like, regular people. I'm talking about the people who are, like, privileged enough to not give a fuck and not be, and I think they'd, oh my God, I'd love to be, like, 24 again. You know what I mean? I really do believe that.
That's
There's a
true.
cohort of people in the United States. I think maybe it's shrinking because, like, you're not going to be able to ignore it for that much longer. I mean, that's exactly right. This is kind of a good segue for my first book.
I'm sorry you would say that, Haley.
You
I'm
should
for
be
freedom
sorry.
of our
You
United
should be
States.
sorry.
I'm for freedom of our United States.
That's disgusting.
We
you
have
put your
freedom.
president. You
that
just
we
put our
live in.
president over my children, your own family, because you are a
president?
patriot.
No, I'm for freedom of our United States.
Mom.
That's
Freedom
how we
means
do this.
freedom means you don't get drafted.
No,
You don't
do
believe
get
in freedom.
drafted in
That's-
wars that we needed
No,
people to go
that's
fight.
You're not
freedom.
even smart enough to know. I got drafted.
That's your problem.
No, it's not.
Wow.
Yeah, it is.
Was happy to go.
You signed up for the military.
Was
That makes
happy
it
to
your
go.
problem. My kids didn't sign up for the military.
No, if
For
there's
you,
a draft,
that was a choice. You chose to be
if
in
there's a
the
draft,
military.
they're gonna be signed up for the military.
Both of your
You
grand-
chose
They're
to
gonna
be in the
go-
military.
They're gonna go to prison.
Both of your grandfathers fought for our freedom.
Well,
Two
we'll
of
just
your uncles fought for our
If
freedom.
it wasn't
I
for
don't-
people
I don't
like,
believe
if it
in
wasn't
war.
for people like me, you couldn't sit there and run your mouth anymore.
One of
right.
your
I don't
uncles
believe in war.
fought at the Battle of Bastogne with
Okay.
General
Terrific.
Patton.
Hang on.
I
Mom.
don't believe in war. I don't believe in killing people.
None of
For
us
shit
do.
like
You're,
this.
you're in a minority.
I'm sorry you would.
Ooh, they were definitely going to need a simmer down after that one.
Sometimes I hate when Chad does it. I'm like, no, keep going. I
But I
love
mean-
that you played that because that was the first time I realized, well, not the first time, but I am indoctrinated as well because I did not consider that you could really be like against war or not against war, but that you should dodge the draft. That is like
Me too.
actually kind of the right thing to do.
Yep.
And why did I think,
Because they, like, we're like one of the most propagandized populations on Earth.
brainwash
Like, think of any war movie you've ever seen, and it's like,
heroes?
yes. I mean, maybe like not Platoon or some movies that they have about, but they still canonize, experience of war, fighting in a war. It was harder for Vietnam because, of course, with World War II, we got attacked.
Just thinking about our president's gap this week.
Can you, when he was talking to her and saying, like, why didn't you warn me about Pearl Harbor? The Japanese know about surprise. I swear to
There's
God.
comedy in this.
I thought he was going to take it to the dark place and talk about Nagasaki or Hiroshima.
Well,
That's what I
yes.
thought he was going to say.
It was so. Did you hear the audible gasp?
I'm so sorry, but like because Trump is also kind of funny. I mean, he's
I know.
dangerous, horrible, but
I know.
like some of his lines do make me like spit take almost because they're just so ridiculous.
We went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay? Why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay? Right?
It sounded like an audible groan there in the Oval Office when the president said that. It was certainly a bit of an awkward moment. Of course, now Japan is a major U.S. ally.
Liz.
I don't think they're the same lines as like his supporters laugh at necessarily.
No, it's
like,
not. It's
always
not.
But for sure,
I think we're laughing at different things that he
Yes.
said. Yeah, than his supporters. But the thing about the draft to me, because I'm with you, I was propagandized in that way too, except, and I thought this was interesting, my mom, who, as you know, would call herself very conservative, very religious, and would call herself a patriot, she would always say growing up that, like, if there was another draft, she would smuggle my brother out of the country, or she would cut off his big toe or, do something that would make it. I think one time she threatened to cut off his thumbs. But
So
like,
did you not grow up then with that
well, I
kind
grew
of
up hearing it from everywhere else,
else? Yeah.
but my
Yeah, I must have too,
family,
because it's not like my parents were like,
yeah.
you know,
No, my mom was like, you will never, no one in my family will ever fight in a war. Which I thought was pretty interesting because I know she would call herself like a patriot or whatever, but I do think she is like, she has the ability to think critically enough to be like, my kids are going to be the ones that are dying.
yeah,
And
she doesn't want her kids to die.
I think Mama, it would be more like an isolationist, except for Israel, which is a whole nother, it's not a whole nother thing. It is the thing that we're talking about, but she
It
would
is.
not, but even though she is like one of those evangelicals who like believes in like revelation and all that kind of stuff happening and that Israel's the chosen people and all that kind of stuff, I know for a fact she would like Mulan, like cut her hair off and go off to war rather than have my nephew, her grandson Jack, ever fight in a war. She would commit violence to keep him from having to go to war. She would do anything.
Well,
So
it might
I
come
don't know
to that.
And what's interesting though is like that's how brave, like literally they're saying, and I should have added context to this before this video, but like basically Chad was like, would you be okay if Roman, Haley's son, was drafted into the war? And the answer was yes.
Haley got a little heated about that.
Which I can understand.
Sure.
Right, of course.
I am so curious about her kids. I want to meet. I know I feel like intrusive about that, but
yeah, no,
I just feel like she has turned out to be such a cool, interesting, like,
she's awesome.
I don't know how she's done it. And I am so interested in like her husband and like what he's like and what her kids, but
I mean, I wonder if her kids listen to the podcast because I think
they asked last night. Oldest one does.
Because I think it would hurt my feelings too. And I think hurt my feelings makes it too, like, sounds too childlike. It would be hurtful for me to hear my grandparents say some of these things about me.
Yeah, what I think is different for their situation than I know for mine and probably for many others like me is Chad and Haley at least have each other. And, and then Haley and her husband, I'm sure, feel the same way. So then when her oldest son is watching it and seeing his parent or his grandparents react that way, he still has like my mom, my dad, my uncle. They, in that sense, they're almost, the underdogs, the grandparents.
Oh man.
Whereas,
that's not our situation, is it?
No, so we have no ally. So
I mean,
it kind of is much easier.
My brother is
he
not
doesn't
like
speak up
a
though,
radical, but he and I are, we don't really talk very much. So God, I didn't think about that. I didn't think about the fact that we're in the minority. Even though my mom would never, and my dad, I mean, my parents aren't like Mary Lou and Bob. My dad is like the opposite of Bob. My dad is like, Bob is like the upside down of Cliff. Cliff is so amazing. And I don't think my dad would ever say, my dad would, I know, and I know my mom would too, would never say, oh, let's just go kill everybody there. I mean, that's crazy. And my mom would be like, no,
really,
I would not be okay if my grandchild got drafted. I would do anything in my power to keep him safe. And they would say, because I think Helen is more of an America first. Like, why aren't we taking care of people here than fighting wars that we don't belong involved in?
Well, actually, her mentality to me is more the actual conservative, and no offense, but maybe offense of like, well, I don't want it to affect me.
No, for sure.
We need soldiers, but not my grandson.
Yeah, that's right.
So Mary Lou and Bob's, I mean, sometimes their answers surprise me, but I just think it's because they are so trying to Trump's butthole that they sometimes like say the wrong thing because they don't want to, they're like, yeah, I'm okay with my grandkids going off to die.
You bring up an interesting point because, like, is there more integrity? Is there more integrity in keeping that?
Yeah, I think so.
But I will say, I do think my parents would say they don't want war, but but you bringing up this point, I mean, I guess it's like they are trying to, or at least like they're staying within their integrity. I mean, it's disgusting ideology,
Sure.
but it's
Yeah.
consistent.
It would be like if Mary Lou and well, actually they do. Bob has like spilled out a few times that they are very close to some undocumented immigrants and
Right.
how they help them. And so it I guess standing by their principles would be like calling ICE and getting
Yeah,
those
right.
people deported after establishing a relationship and helping them.
Right.
Oh, that should be our question to Bob.
Well, and I thought about that, but I appreciated that Mary Lou when he started talking to him, because I did hear that part where I think she was kind of like, stop, because we don't want to get anybody in trouble.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't want to encourage them to say anything that
True.
might out
Yeah.
an undocumented person. But
Yeah.
I think
Oh my God. This is why. Great. Good. You just
had to-
possibly prevented a deportation out
well,
of.
I don't know about that, but just to be totally safe.
I do. Their pride is stronger than anything I've ever.
Yes, I think
Mary Lou wants to just wipe them out because they're causing too much problems for us. And then so Chad tries to ask her about Cuba.
Oh, what does she say about Cuba? I guess I'll hear.
I mean, she's ready. Well, I guess we got to do it.
So, what's a good question because I kind of want to ask a question to disarm Bob a little bit, to get a little, like maybe even a fun question for Bob. Like, oh, Bob, we don't see a lot of your personality, in terms of like who you are. So
Yes.
would love to know and he'll like, if you ask his favorite childhood memories, like no good memories, or if you ask his
Can't.
favorite, did you have any fun in he'll say, no fun. But I wonder.
Better to ask about his most traumatic memory, and he'll probably be like, yeah, which one?
Or he'd be like, I'm not traumatized. I'm tough. Like no trauma ever happened to me. I was just abandoned by my, whatever. And then he describes like horrendously traumatic experiences. But what if it was like, if you had like what would if you could pick what you ate on your last day, like what would your death day meal be, Bob? And just like something
That's a great one. But here's the problem with both of us. That is the question. My first question, who the fuck cares about
Yeah.
Bob? And why are
Oh, yeah.
we focusing on Bob?
True,
And
true.
sorry to get so mad at Bob, but this
No,
is
he's a dick.
like, if you're looking at this ecosystem of this podcast we're talking about, the necessary conversation, both obsessed with a family, why we are
Yes.
trying to solve
squeaky
for
wheel.
Bob. Both of us individually have
Yeah,
been
that's
trying
right.
to craft questions to disarm
But you're right. You're absolutely right. But
Bob
I just came up with the
brings
best
nothing.
question for him. No. What is your favorite thing about each person on the podcast?
So good.
Just to try to, and maybe
Yeah.
it's like everybody does that. Everybody says what, but
I
like,
would even go further. No,
What
that's
makes you
better
proud?
than mine. I was gonna say, what is your one wish for each person?
I think I've heard them say they want to change their kids' minds for them to be conservative.
Yeah, they do. I guess they have said that. And
Yeah, I think
it's
that's a
funny.
good
It's
point.
like if you there's been so many admissions in each podcast, tidbits here and there, little
Right.
data points, little puzzle pieces, that it's
Right.
all really been said about the problem, what it is. But I think because there really is no easy solution, you just keep arguing about the politics.
What if we ask them to say their favorite thing about themselves?
That's a great thing. Yes, because Bob would probably actually see again, caring about Bob.
Yeah. But I mean, I'd be interested in what Mary Lou said. I'd be interested in what Haley said. Let's submit both.
I can hype up the accent, get just a
do.
little bit more of a twang, and
I lean
people
into the sugar.
they love it, or
They love
I
it.
feel like they do.
They do. They really do. Throw a y'all at them, like a real y'all, and they're like, "Are you
Yeah.
from Texas?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not from fucking Texas. Don't ever ask me that again."
I've never gotten Texas.
I always get Texas, but that's in LA. I think in LA people just like y'all is. I'm like, that's howdy, you guys. That's howdy. Howdy is Texas. Y'all is South generally.
You teach them. I
I go dogs people wherever I see them when they're wearing dogs attire. Well, me. Well, I'm gonna be a you know I'm that's a brainwashing that I'm just letting happen. I'm just not even trying to. But go dogsing people and getting go dogs is so much fun, dude. Especially if you're like, I go dog somebody in like Spain, and it was like,
yeah.
it
Yes.
was like a. Which is a
Yes.
cool thing about sports. A cool thing about sports is that it
Universal.
creates a community.
But speaking of that, sort of like travel and as Americans, we love this.
Correct.
And I'm going to let Mr. Tim Dillon.
Oh,
This is not exactly the time to be gallivanting all over the world. Are you going to be an American tourist right now, you psychopath? 15 countries in the globe. What kind of psychopath are you going to be right now? You're going to go to Italy and tell them why they're fucked because we're attacking Iran?
Go dogs.
And we've given the oil up and everything's gone insane? Have the decency to not inflict yourself on the rest of the world at this point.
this is amazing.
Do you think anyone wants you? Does anyone want the American tourist right now telling people how it is?
W take. W
Oh,
take.
it's the ugly American here who's blowing up the world with Israel, everyone's other favorite country. Oh, good, it's America and Israel, everyone's favorites. Everyone's favorites. Tell them where the best cheese shop is. It's America and Israel. You know, us in Israel right now are like just two chunky meth heads the town has had enough of.
Nightmare blunt rotation.
Of this
Nightmare.
behavior. I mean, us in Israel, we have, this is, nobody is excited right now to hear anything about the United States or Israel. No one in this world wants to hear about that. Sorry, nobody wants to hear about
What
that
have we done?
right now. So instead of getting on a plane to Scotland, so you can go tell everyone that you're from America, destabilizing of the world, we've all decided we want to travel. We've all decided we want to travel after lighting the fuse that might lead to World War III. We've decided we always wanted to see Edinburgh. We wanted to try.
He's
We
cracking
wanted to
up.
have high tea at the castle after we've lit the fuse that might start World War III. Have the decency to stay in your home, for Christ, please. No one wants to see your fucking face. Or mine. No one wants to see us right now. The fuck you gonna go to Spain and drink wine in the park and be like, well, Israel has the right to defend itself.
Oh my god.
Shit from you.
Oh my god.
That's a fat American
favorite.
fucking psychopaths invading your country to tell you about that Israel needs to attack 19 other countries?
Oh my god.
You guys should really help us with this straightforward news. They're going to start kidnapping Americans in these countries and killing them publicly, and they won't be wrong. They're going to start kidnapping Americans out of their hotels and throwing them in the middle of the street and lighting them on fire.
Oh Jesus
We're
Christ.
literally destabilizing the world, okay?
It's not
We're
wrong.
destabilizing the planet Earth, like in a major way. And Americans' main concern right now is how they can get their fat ass on a cruise to one of the other countries who were also fucking in the process of this, by the way.
I mean,
The thing about America is we'll never not travel. We don't care. We'll nuke Iran. We'll start a nuclear exchange, and then we'll get on a flight to Paris.
oh
We
my
don't care.
god, dude. This
We
is
will
correct.
straight up
This
bring
is
the world to
objectively correct.
nuclear Armageddon, and then we will go and take a tour of a winemaking a vineyard in Italy. We don't care.
Oh my god, dude.
Can you
What is
imagine being
happening?
the American abroad right now?
He is not
What
wrong.
lies detected?
Yeah, he is really not wrong. I'm like, oh, I'm from Canada. That's what I would say. I'm Canadian.
Never in my wildest dreams did I realize like my reputation as an American like could be so destroyed. I mean, sure, I
It was
used to
already
like feel
bad, you know.
self-conscious about maybe not knowing another language when traveling and like having to deal with that. But now,
Yeah. I mean, it was already pretty bad, and now it's like I wouldn't. I saw some videos of like a place like a restaurant in Spain where some Israeli tourists were like came and sat down, and the owner came out and was like, "Get the fuck out. We don't serve you. Like, get the fuck out of here." And
how
I
long until
don't blame them. Second of all, like because literally you're committing a genocide and you're just like out having wine, like fuck off. And
and
people
going
might
for
say,
more? They're
and people
both
might
going
say
for
like,
more.
yeah, people might say like, oh, that's the Israeli government. It's not. So it's the actions were extremely popular in the Israeli population.
I've heard conflicting reports about that.
Well, it's changed. I think it's changed. At the beginning, it was like
Which is
very much like. But you're
yeah.
right. That's true. To give some people credit, I mean, there is Israeli students who are burning their draft cards because they get drafted. You know, they have to go. Or
Right.
not, yeah, they have to go. They have required service, and they're not showing. They're not going. They're going to jail. So I mean, shout out to them because that's I mean that's what you have to do. Like, what are you gonna do?
You have to.
Kill children? Like, dude, you can't.
I try to keep it in perspective of like us Americans and how I would hate other people to look at like a poll, and that
Well, this
that
is what I
shows
said about
support.
that. If I went out in another country and somebody was like, "Are you an American?" and I said yes, and they said, "Get the fuck out. You're destroying the world." I would say, "I understand why you.
Sure.
I understand, and I will leave."
Thank you for not doing anything else.
Yeah, but to be honest, because
Yeah.
like we're living in the belly of the empire. Like if people want to make me feel uncomfortable when I'm out doing that, like I understand. I understand that. Like
Yeah. I'll
and
take it.
building pressure like that, ultimately, hopefully, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of my attitude is, you're right. Technically, tax dollars are paying for this shit. I don't like it. I say fuck Donald Trump and fuck this war, but I completely understand why you are upset because I'm
Doesn't change the
empire.
facts.
I'm a representative of the empire that's destroying the fucking world. So I get it. You know what I mean?
I don't want to be the bad guys.
Yeah.
Like
No, I don't either.
have been I hope both teams win. If not, the underdog should win kind of person. And like living in this, what feels like roided up, like WWE reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I could deal at least being evil if everyone agreed to one truth and one reality, but like still knowing that the rest of the world seemingly knows what's going on more than a lot of Americans, like the reality, and then but still having to debate these Americans that are stuck in an actual cult.
Yeah, an actual
That
cult.
seems such a waste of time.
Yeah, no, they're in an actual cult.
Yeah,
There's
I
a
wish
certain
people.
percentage of them that you can't.
It's shown to me. I mean, probably many times over, but with this war, can we have a tally of all of the big campaign promises?
Yeah.
That have been just completely
just
upended. I love the anger about not enough deportations.
Oh my
which is
God,
really-
those people are so cruel.
Should we check in on the Christians real quick?
Let's check on those Christians.
What are they up to?
What are they up to? What you got
But
going
give
on?
an overview of the land of the damage that has been done through the 19th Amendment and why it's not just wrong against Scripture, coming from a biblical patriarchal perspective. But why it's never been done throughout history from any other nation, and any other nation embraces such a view where you're putting women in charge of making decisions for a particular nation, that nation falls. And so I think there's going to be a lot of evidence, a lot of research, a lot of
like, don't you want to knock him the fuck out? Like, I want to land
Take that tie
in that stupid tie clip. It doesn't even look right.
Of women that were against it. And so you never hear some of these narratives. So the history of it, the argument against it, and many reasons justifying it. I think that by the end, people are going to go, wow, I think women at the end are going to go, we must repeal this. And that's my hope, is that we can get thousands of people to read this book. And
This
that we
is
can
insane.
the next 10,
This is a
15 years,
real
have a
fucking.
Supreme Court case repealing the 19. If we can repeal Roe v. Wade, or overturn Roe v. Wade, then I think we can overturn the 19. It's just going to take time.
I want to know what my
Yes, resurrection sexism. Yep.
look at. Okay, I know what I know what Helen Durrance would have to say about this. She would want to knock this motherfucker out too.
Is this what we have to do?
I think I'm gonna have to start sending her videos of these like Christian dudes that don't want women to vote. Because how is that? Shut the fuck up. I swear to God, I would. This is why I want brass knuckles, Adrienne.
Why don't we have them is a better question.
A great question, because that's the type of dude I want to knock him unconscious. I want him to know that a woman knocked him the fuck out. You know what I'm saying?
Such a smug fuck, too. The ones that are, like, did you see them just sitting there?
They're so
like,
smug and smart.
And he said nothing in a minute and 13 seconds that wasn't just, we don't want women to vote.
We just don't want women to vote.
We don't have a
They
reason.
we don't like the way they vote, so we don't want them to vote anymore.
And they're
And
going to
by
get
the
on
way,
board,
it's
too.
the Bible.
What do you think about this SAVE Act? Save America Act.
Well, I think it was someone in Tennessee, I don't know, some representative who was going to add an amendment to the act that just said very explicitly that women who changed their name would still be able to vote, like change their name through marriage, because the problem is like you have to have like a birth certificate, and if your birth certificate doesn't match your ID.
Is it a Democrat or a Republican trying to put in that amendment?
It was a Democrat trying to say,
okay.
And then and they didn't they wouldn't pass it with that amendment. They refused that amendment.
I don't think they want to pass it. I don't think the Republicans, I mean, I think they do if there was no pushback, but it works out just as well for them if they don't. Because now it's, well, how can we trust it?
Right. And he's been doing that for, ever since the beginning. He's been doing
So this is just a little something to bolster it.
Oh, God. That's not a bad theory.
On the one hand, this actually could benefit Democrats because of, like, I've got a passport, I've got all this stuff, but, like, do all of these Republicans
The
have
problem
all of...
is the majority, it would impact Democratic voters much more than Republican voters. Oh, yeah. And that's exactly the same with like a poll tax or a poll, like there's a lot of people who would be able to vote. But I mean, I hear you, and like there's plenty of red states of people who have never left the country, have had no intention to leave the country, will not have a passport, might have a birth certificate, but I sure as fuck don't know where my birth certificate is.
Even that we're fucking talking about this is ridiculous. We should want everyone to vote.
Your strategy for success in your party is that you have to have fewer people voting. It's because your policies, people who don't agree with your policies.
But Amy, this will guarantee they win for the next 50 years. It is obviously not
I'm going
a
to
ploy.
tell my mom about this. I'm going to send her one of these videos.
Do you not feel that way always? I'm surprised.
I should, but I don't, because I don't want to fight with her. I want to be thoughtful with how I share stuff, because I haven't in the past, and I think that because of that, I've kind of put her on the defensive too much a few times, and I don't want to go about it like that anymore, so I want to be thoughtful about how I broached these topics with her. I kind of want her to open the door for certain things, and then I can say like, oh yeah, I saw the craziest thing online the other day, I'm gonna have to share it with you, versus me being like, look at this. this. These are the people you voted for. You know, I'm trying to be a little more strategic and graceful.
I always want that in theory, and then I realize that the door is never open for me.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it's
the
hard for
point.
me too.
Does she ever bring it up? Like, that's
She'll bring stuff up more. It's almost like she's like a little baby bird. I feel like I can't scare her off too much. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's engaging a little bit more, and I'm being a lot calmer. I'm not being accusatory. I'm not trying to yell at her. I'm trying to lead with curiosity.
Sure.
And I think it's helping. So I'm trying to like baby bird her a little bit.
I find the most frustrating thing is I don't even know what a lot of my family or other people, their actual opinions, because we're at this moment that no one talks about it anymore. So I don't even know.
Kind of same. And that's another reason why I enjoy the necessary conversation. Not necessarily because I think that it's my parents' beliefs, because I really don't. But it gives me some insight into what the other side, and I shouldn't even say the other side because I don't consider myself like a liberal.
No, another side.
A different side. What a different side is hearing. So
I absolutely agree. That's what that reminded me of a question I've thought of a million for Bob, of course, but was going to be something like, hey, Bob, we all know Chad is a chode communist and love it when you point that out, but just wanted to say I love when I hear your arguments, and I really want to know what you are thinking, because you remind me of my daddy. That was whatever.
I can see that. Like, actually give us some arguments instead of just like calling your kids idiots.
I want to pick that little brain, that big brain of yours. You know, like
that is exactly how it should end. I want to pick that big brain of yours. Put on that cowboy hat, Bob.
Yeah, love when you interrupt. I love when you win that contest.
Maybe he feels like, again, what do I care? Fuck that guy.
You can argue back and forth with them like they have for the past 4 years on the podcast, but it doesn't matter when all of their sources are telling them something else. Like, that doesn't, think about us, you know, if we're watching the same.
Right, of course, the echo chamber is real.
Yeah.
But that's why everybody should get
ground news.
They don't even sponsor this podcast.
About to sponsor us, friends of the show.
Friends of the show, ground news, shout out Channel 5. Let's see, this one is a good one to like have a funny finish. Have you seen this?
Oh, fuck yes. Dude, I was going to give you the whole goddamn backstory of this case this week.
The Adams County Sheriff kicked down my door. Then I heard the glass break. They found no kidnapping victims, just some lemon pound cake. Mama's lemon pound cake. And running the numbers up and getting some more money. You know, I took a picture shaking his hand, but I was running against him. I don't support certain things I don't support certain things he do. I don't like all his moves against black people. I don't like reinstating all of these Confederate situations. I got my, all his anti-black issues I got a problem with. I'll stand with him on getting the bathroom right. You know what I'm saying? This, that, but it's like this right here.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So,
bruh, you're going to be, respectfully, you're going to be literally harassed by the police, which is the enforcement arm of the government, because you're a black man. Donald Trump hates.
Go one step further.
Like, what is wrong with you?
No one's perfect. He still has some learning to do.
He's got some growing to do. He's got some growing to do.
We all do.
As we all do.
Some more than others.
Some much, much more than others.
All right, y'all be good out there.
She made my house.
said you're gonna eat your wife's foot.